The 7 Warlords contain some of the best characters in all of One Piece, and today I want to rank every character that's ever been a part of that group. And I do mean every character, because the first one I want to talk about is Hanafuda. Now, if you're like me, upon hearing that name, seeing this guy, you're thinking, who the hell is this? But if you'll remember, Portkis D. Ace was invited to be a member of the 7 Warlords due to him beating a previous member. This is that member, and he also is the father of Ulti and Page 1. So that's cool, I guess, but I mean, he's really just lore slop, which I say affectionately, but he's going at the bottom because he's not even in the series. Now, a fairly similar character to that is Edward Weevil over here. He is in the series, but he's more of a joke character. And just kind of lore slop again, foreshadowing like Stussy and all that crap. So I guess I'll give him a D for actually being in the series. Those were kind of the quickest, easiest characters to talk about, so I wanted to get those out of the way. Well, I think of this list, I think I know who I'm putting in C, and that's Gecko Moria. Not a huge shocker. I don't think most people would consider him their favorite character. But there are a lot of things I like about Moria. I think it's really funny that he's just like kind of given up after getting his ass whooped by Kaido and just being like, fuck it, man. I'll just build like a cool little kingdom. I think his power is cool. That doesn't really help him in this case because I think literally every devil fruit in this list is pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Outside of him being just kind of like not a horrible villain, he just kind of gets mogged by every other character on this list. I'm not really seeing any huge outliers at this point, so I think I'll just go down the list maybe. I want to talk about Crocodile first. So Crocodile, I don't think he's a really finished character. I think there's more Oda either has planned or should have planned in terms of us knowing about Crocodile's past and kind of who he is and his philosophy. Because I don't know, right now Crocodile's kind of just a regular villain pirate in a way. He just wants to build an empire, which I think some people can appreciate. For me, that's a little boring, at least, compared to all these other characters. But he's still a great villain. Very interested in what he's doing with the Cross Guild. But for now, I think he is going in B. I guess since we're kind of ascending the list, I'll go with someone who I'm thinking about putting in A. And I'm thinking Boa Hancock is going to go in A. Great, sympathetic character. When we're introduced her, you're like, wow, who's this bitch? But then we learn about her backstory, which, very tragic. Does a lot for the story. Does a lot for her character. But, outside of that, she kind of just turns into a joke character. With the whole loving Luffy thing, which, I mean, she's still A tier on this list, I'd say. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I put her in B. I think she's kind of on a similar level to Crocodile, but for different reasons. Because when she's on screen, I don't think she's the most interesting character outside of her backstory. I hate to do it, but I think I'm also going to put Buggy in B. Very funny, very, very funny character. It's very funny to see him fail upwards. Pretty funny and weird that he was part of Gold Roger's crew. His involvement in Cross Guild and him becoming a Yonko is very funny, and that one scene where he's like saying he wants to be king of the pirates adds a little bit of depth to him. But I think, holistically, he does kind of fall under the same camp as Boa Hancock. I think that's pretty much it for B tier, though. I think this is going to be a pretty top-heavy list. Well, since we kind of already talked about Jinbei, I'll start with Jinbei. I didn't really say too much about him in the last video, because there wasn't much to say about him in the context of being a Straw Hat. But his character as a whole, I don't know, he's just really likable. I love his dedication to the fishmen and, kind of being an activist and trying to build a good relationship with humanity. He's very dedicated to his morals and will not deviate his actions at all, which is very likable. But, outside of that, again, maybe not the most interesting character, but he's just super likable. So, A tier for Jinbei. I'm also going to put Mihawk in A tier. I really, really like Mihawk. He definitely gets the most aura points, and just his character design, his style, he's just really cool. One of my favorite scenes in the entire series when he fights Zoro for the first time. But yeah, he's just a really cool, powerful, wise character. There's not much else to say. The only thing that brings him out of S is just he hasn't really been utilized that much. Again, he's in Cross Guild, which is, weird. I don't really know what he sees to gain out of that, but definitely waiting on him to like fight Zoro or do something, because he hasn't done too much in the series, so I think that is pretty much what brings him down. So we got 4 characters left here. To make things more interesting, we're going to add an S+, and decide, which two are going in S, which two are going in S+. Well, I mean, I think I know who my favorite of these is, but I guess let's start with Kuma. I mean, there's so much to say about Kuma. Really awesome, threatening villain in Thriller Bark. And then, part of the greatest story moment of him vanishing all the Straw Hats. Amazing. And then, the big thing is, the Egghead flashback. Makes him just a super likable character. But I am going to put him in S tier, because I think of all these characters, personality-wise, not super fun, I guess. He's just a really nice guy. Extremely nice guy. Which only makes him slightly less boring than these other three, to me. That's really the only justification I have for putting him down in S, is that, he's just too likable. Now, the first one I'm going to put in S+, Doflamingo. Genuinely, I think the best villain in the series currently. Just he's just completely just devoid of any sympathy for people outside of his family, and will just manipulate and ruin anyone's lives for his benefit. Suit his just his level of manipulation within Dressrosa, the things he does just to screw with people and gain an advantage is so scary and so cool. I don't remember how it went exactly, but he lied about not being a warlord or something to screw with law. He sent out fake newspapers in Dressrosa. Just super interesting, deep character. I love him. I think I'm just gonna put where these two go, and then we'll talk about it. This seems silly, but I gotta do it. Law is my favorite. Again, his story with Doflamingo, just amazing. Outside of that, I think he's just really cool. He's definitely, he just vibes with me. His hat is funny. I like that he just has a really tiny crew and just goes around in a submarine. Now, as to why I didn't put Blackbeard in S+, again, I'm just biased towards Law, but really, honestly, super scary character. I think, he's always intriguing to watch when he's on screen. It's what is this guy? What is his game? What is he aiming for? And again, kind of similar to Doflamingo, he'll just do whatever the hell he wants. Kind of a scary mirror to Luffy, where he has the exact capabilities of Luffy, but he does not have an upstanding moral character. And then the two devil fruits. I mean, how the hell did he do that? That was so freaking what, and so scary when he uses Whitebeard's fruit in Marineford. That's such an intimidating moment, because again, because of who Blackbeard is, it's this guy is powerful in a lot of the same ways Luffy is. The only thing bringing Blackbeard down is his story is not complete yet. And I'm a little worried about where it might go. There's manga spoiler reasons as to why, which I won't get into, but if you're caught up with the manga, you might know what I'm talking about. It's sort of related to him. I think I have faith Oda knows what he's doing with this character. I mean, Law's tied up with Blackbeard right now, and he's doing something, I don't know. I guess I forgot about that. Yeah, Blackbeard and Law fought. That was really cool. Oh yeah, also Law and Wano. I mean, great in Wano. Yeah, I mean, of course I like. I mean, his whole plan to take down Kaido, that's so cool. I know that was kind of a out of order thing to say, but just to fully elaborate why Law's my favorite. His capacity to plan, I think, is very fun for One Piece, especially in contrast to Luffy. But then, Doflamingo kind of acting as a mirror for Law in that regard is also really cool. Well, this kind of went quicker than I thought it would. Well, I'll say B tier, I'd put Boa top. S tier, the rest I'd pretty much keep the same. Let me know who your favorites are, maybe how you'd rank them, or who your favorite one is and why. If you couldn't tell, this channel's pretty new. But if you want to help me on this little journey of mine I'm going on, feel free to subscribe. I think this is really fun, and I think there could be a lot of fun discussions. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.